Going to save the soil first. They're all some of are a little bit different configurations. So she's just going to do it right here in this area. And the camera's going to be that way. Okay, great. Thanks for coming.
Well, I thought the state soil shirts sit up. Okay, Mom.
Honestly, Alice. I don't have that.
Sit up there. You gotta save soil shirt.
Good evening, everyone. I would like, before the meeting begins, I would like to point out that the council has a new agenda from earlier. We had a proclamation recipient that became ill and could not join us, so we moved it forward to another meeting. And last night, Vice Mayor asked me for examples of why it's important to have the agenda to be flexible, and that's one prime example of why, because the person could not be here today. So that's why we have a new agenda. All right, I would like to call to order tonight's March 11th, 2025 meeting of the Leesburg Town Council. If anyone in the room needs hearing assistance, please see the clerk. Council Member Steinberg will give the invocation, followed by Council Member Nacy giving the salute to the flag. Let the record, excuse me, okay. Council Member Steinberg?
Thank you, Mayor. A moment of silence, please, before we begin our work this evening. Thank you, everybody.
Please join me in the pledge. This way.
Okay.
It's not next to me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let the record reflect that all members of council are here tonight, and there's nobody wanting to electronically participate. I do want to acknowledge that this is not our usual meeting place. We do appreciate you being flexible to be here tonight, but our town chambers is being renovated right now, and so it would not have worked for us to be there. So, and I want to make sure that we thank staff for all of their hard work of putting this together. There's a lot of wires under these tables, so thank you all very much. We have one work session minute of February 24th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Nacy, second.
Second.
Councilmember Cummings. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? And abstain? So that's 601. Regular session minutes of February 25, 2025.
So moved.
Councilmember Nacy, second.
Second.
Councilmember Cummings, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay, that passes 7-0. Adopting the meeting agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Nacy is on a roll. Second?
Second.
Councilmember Cummings is too. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. We don't have any certificates of recognition, but we do have a couple of proclamations today, and so I am going to come over there and read the proclamations and ask people to come up. So excuse me as I figure out the best way to get there. I guess it's this way. So our first proclamation tonight is Save the Soil Day. And I will read it and for the record and then ask for, then I'll ask for a motion. So whereas Save the Soil is a global movement launched by, can you help me how to say it? SAGU. Okay, thank you. Uniting world leaders, visionaries, influencers, and citizens of all nations behind a common purpose to restore and safeguard the world's soil. And the Save the Soil aims to address the global crisis, recognizing that 52% of the world's agricultural soils are already degraded. And by 2050, 90% of the Earth's soil could be degraded. Whereas addressing soil degradation issues would bring solutions for the loss of biodiversity, nutritional deficiencies, food security, water scarcity, climate change, and mass migration. Whereas the proposed solution is to advocate policies across all nations towards soil restoration and aim to increase organic matter in agricultural soil to a minimum of 3 to 6%. And whereas in an effort to raise awareness and activate support from the leaders and citizens alike, SAGRU was on a 30,000 kilometer journey as a lone motorcyclist covering 27 nations over 100 days since March 21st. Therefore proclaimed that the mayor and the council of the town of Leesburg, Virginia, hereby recognize March 21st, 2025 as the official 2025 Save the Soil Day in the town of Leesburg, proclaimed this day. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Steinberg, second. Second by Councilmember Kirkowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. Would you guys like to come up and share with us what this is all about? And I do want to tell you that the town has started we've started a composting place in town where people from the residents from town can bring their composting just for that purpose of helping to save the soil. So ladies, would you like to come up and introduce yourselves and say a few words? Okay.
I have a little talk here. It's okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Burke, for proclaiming March 21st as Save Soil Day in Leesburg again this year, as this was the day that Sadhguru, yogi and mystic, launched the global Save Soil movement. My name is Allison Calloway. I have been a resident of Leesburg for 16 years, and my children have grown up here. I'm a volunteer with Save Soil, part of the nonprofit organization called Conscious Planet. Since the launching of Save Soil by Sadhguru of March 21st, 2022, we have been active in raising awareness among the community regarding the current crisis of soil degradation. Over half the world's agricultural soil is already degraded. If current practices continue, by the year 2045, we could lose up to 90%. In the year 2020, the UN predicted that with current trends, we have roughly 50 to 60 years harvest left on the planet. This life-giving material we call soil is only about 5 to 10 inches deep. It is teeming with insects, worms, fungi, bacteria, and microorganisms that, like other life forms, can too go extinct. About 40% of the Earth's soil is in agricultural use. The way in which we practice agriculture is key to protecting and revitalizing soil, and thereby ensuring a secure future for generations to come. By creating policy which supports the increase of organic content in soil, we can prevent the loss of nutrients in food, flooding, drought, the loss of biodiversity, and mitigate greenhouse gases by 30%. Save Soil has also been active working with hundreds of thousands of farmers in the transition to regenerative practices and serves as a model of the successful union of ecology and economy. It is backed by the UN Environment Program, the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, the UN Convention to Combat Desertification, and the World Food Program, among others. It also had a large presence this year at both COP29 and COP15. Thank you once again, Mayor Kelly Burke, for showing your support towards this initiative. It is an honor to receive this proclamation from the town of Leesburg, and I hope that it will in some way contribute to the vital steps needed to save our soil. Let's make it happen.
Have the sticker on it.
Okay.
Whoops, I'll get that later, don't worry about that.
And this is for you.
Oh, how cute, thank you. Oh, how very nice, thank you.
And a thank you card.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, thank you. Appreciate you all being here today. And think of that composting place on Liberty Lot.
Yes.
Okay, thank
We
you.
can do that at homes next year.
Well, that's a work in progress. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Our next proclamation is for sudden unexplained death in Childhood Awareness Month. Whereas sudden unexplained death in childhood is a category of death affecting children between the age of 1 and 18 that remains unexplained after a thorough investigation, including an autopsy. And whereas each year in the United States, approximately 500 children succumb to sudden unexplained death in childhood, including more than 200 young children between the age of 1 and 4. And it is the fifth leading category of death. Yet its cause remains unknown, and there is currently no way to predict or prevent these tragic losses. While the sudden unexplained death in childhood is less common than the sudden infant death syndrome, which occurs before a child's first birthday, it remains a critical public health concern that demands greater awareness, research, and understanding. Whereas sudden unexplained death in Childhood Awareness Month serves as a time to honor the young lives lost too soon, offer encouragement and support to families affected by it, and to advocate for critical research efforts in search of answers. Whereas this proclamation is made in loving memory of Jackson Walsh, beloved son of Leesburg resident Kelsey Walsh, and in tribute to all the families who endured the unimaginable loss of a child to this syndrome, therefore proclaim that the mayor and the council of the town of Leesburg in Virginia hereby proclaim March a sudden unexplained death in Childhood Awareness Month, and encourage all residents to join in raising awareness and supporting ongoing research efforts to prevent these devastating tragedies. Do I have a motion? It's moved by Mr. Cummings, second? Second by Councilmember Nacy. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I would like to ask for Kelsey to join me at this point. Is Kelsey here? This is a tough one.
Yeah.
But thank you. I had never heard of it. I didn't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
we hadn't either.
Son passed.
And so to bring it to our attention so that it isn't, that we can bring to the public is really important. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything?
I think you know.
Okay.
I might start crying.
I was going to, but.
I don't think I'll be okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I'll get back to the seat.
All right. Let me turn it. All right, we have our petitioners, our regional commission reports. Anybody have anything at this point? Okay. Petitioners. And the petitioners is our most important business that we do when we hear from the public. And all members of the public are welcome to address the council on any item, matter, or issue. Please identify yourself, and if comfortable doing so, give your address for the taped record. Any public speaker will be requested to state their name, and please spell it for the purpose of closed captioning. In the interest of fairness, we ask that you observe the 3-minute time limit. The green light on the timer will turn yellow when you have 1 minute remaining. At that time, we would appreciate your summing up and yielding the floor. Under the rules of order adopted by this council, the time limit applies to all. The first person we have on the list is Matt Jawalski, followed by Jim Norkunk.
Good evening, town council members. You're wondering why I'm here again. I was here 2 weeks ago on the other place. So the reason I'm here is I would like to react to the article that was about that you had yesterday about the budget. And I have to say, I'm going to kind of scold you. You guys embarrassed yourself a little bit, okay? 158 million budget, and you could identify 220K in savings. or we are talking about finding 600,000 something in savings, which is 0.4% of a budget. It's like bubble gum spending in my household on food budget monthly. Okay, can I cut it? Yes, I can. As a business consultant for 25 years, I can count an operation like this here, and that has never undergone any business improvement, and I can cut budget by 10% and nobody will notice, like in Citizens, okay? Cutting it by 1%, which is 1.58 million, should be a no-brainer. It should be like Friday afternoon exercise on a bad hair day, all right? Couple of more comments. We are a very safe city. Okay, so the ratios of citizens to police to 1,000 citizens don't really apply because we are safer than 80% of cities. Okay, go to Neighborhood Watch website. So we don't perhaps need to hire more people. Then please don't hire IT, security, etc. Because these people will not be full-time. Okay. And they are not top tier. I prefer that you outsource this issue to specialists, to world-class specialists, so that you don't have problems with that. And last thing I will cover, how much time do I have?
1 minute.
Okay, one last item I want to cover. I read all these, sob stories, employees saying, oh, we are working very hard. I interacted with a coordinator, private coordinator, who was helping a restaurant chain open here in Leesburg about 2 years ago. The number of hoops and the frustration that this person had with staff, I don't know, maybe today it's different, was unbelievable. These people were not well trained, they didn't know what to do, they just couldn't get their SHIT together, okay? And they prolonged the process unnecessarily. So 60 to 40 days is a very good thing that Yankin did, but this is a problem. So please, guys, 1% you can do that. And if not, I am glad to help you for free to reduce budget by 1%, okay? It should be no-brainer. This article was very upsetting, okay? It's our money. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next speaker is Jim Norconk. Is Jim here? Yes, he's back there. And we don't have anybody after that, but we'll see if there's anybody that would like to speak. And Ms. Boeing, can you let them know when they have 1 minute?
I'll just hold my hand up.
Don't start it. Don't start it yet, please. Hi there. Your Honor and council members, thank you very much for listening. I'm kind of taking the lead along with some other people to bring to your attention this noise issue that's being proposed. My name is Jim Norconk, Norconk, and I live in the condos on King Street Station. There is no major noise issue. I'll say that again, there is no major noise issue. And you can look at the stats, you can look at the complaints, how they've been taken care of, and the police have done a great job. So that begs the question of why are we doing this? And I've been very involved in this. And the only one, and please correct me, the only motivation I see is you want to be able to bring commercial entities in here to make more money, to bring and allow them to have amplified noise. The noise problem is there already, but we can control it and enforce it. And I've talked to Captain Smith. He likes to have the permit because he can go in and take care of that. But I would tell you that this comes across as the only, that we're basically saying that commercial interest in the money that they can gain, and possibly the town that could gain money from the taxes from that, overrides the safety and peace of the people and the residents that have lived here. If somebody has another motivation for that, please let me know. I don't see any other motivation. The other thing is that we've already admitted that key personnel that put together the proposed ordinance have already admitted that they really don't have that much knowledge about the noise. It's not a dB issue. dB, it's a decibels plus wavelength. And I would dearly love to sit down with people that are putting this together and talk to them about the science, because I'm an engineer as well as a doctor, and I'm an aeronautical engineer. And I'm going to send you some airplane noise right now. Hello, can you hear it now? Hello. 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 Can you tell that difference? I'm a DB. I'm just a slow DB. But if you have tunnels and air and all those things, it makes it completely different. So the DB meter will not solve the problem. And correct me if you think you know, I don't have a handle on this. Test first. If you come up with a plan on an ordinance you want to vote on, please test it first, and I'll use my residence as the focal point. You can make noise and amplify it and do whatever you want, and I'll be the noise guy, the monitor, and come on in my house. And please, and it was tested several years ago, and the council came in and 2 statements were made. 2 council members, they did this test in the Rose Garden. 2 council members said, it's too loud. The last council,
Okay.
the other one said,
Thank
no,
you.
stop.
Okay.
The last one said it would be maddening.
Okay, Jim, thank you very much for being here,
Yeah.
and I think we have a meeting tomorrow, don't we, or?
Yeah, and I want to thank you very much for being open to that, okay?
Absolutely, no problem, thank you. There is, nobody else signed up, but if somebody in the audience didn't sign up that would like to speak, you're welcome to come forward at this point. I don't see anybody, so I will close the petitioner section. The next item is the approval of the consent agenda. 12A, I will read them and then ask for motions. 12A is a change order for upgrade of water treatment plant programmable logic controller. And B is the 2025 Arts and Cultural District banners design. Is there any item that anybody wishes to take off? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Nacy, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cummings, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. The next item I have is the resolutions and ordinances. The first one is 13A, and this, the appointment to the Environmental Advisory Commission. I don't see a name here.
You have two. Can you turn the mic on, please? That's okay, we're sharing tonight. You have a choice of 2 applicants tonight,
Oh, okay.
so you just need to select between the 2 that have applied to be on the EAC.
Okay, I would like to nominate Casey, what's her last name?
Coster.
Coster.
Kester?
Right, right. So is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or concerns? I know she's come to the meetings, she's very active and interested, and she should, I think many of us know her. So all those in favor of appointing Casey to the Environmental Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. She'll be very excited. The appointment to the Technology, Communications Commission of Matt Spurgeon. Does anybody want to move that? All right, second.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes 7-0. All right, the next one is a motion to reconsider and approve water and sanitary sewer service extension, new Loudoun County Government building adjacent to Kincaid Forest. I believe this was your motion, Mr. Cummings?
Yes,
Let me see if I can get a second, and then would you talk to it?
absolutely.
Second, okay, second by Mr. Kirkowski. All right,
Thank you. So I'm asking for the motion to reconsider and approve the draft resolution for conditional approval of water and sanitary sewer extensions for the new Loudoun County General Services Building in Tuscarora Crossing, Land Bay 4. I had a conversation after our vote 2 weeks ago with Chair Randall, and we discussed the importance of this facility for the county and their future plans of serving the residents and the county in that area. We discussed many ideas and opportunities for collaboration between the town and the county and all the towns in Loudoun County. And so I offer in support of this, to reconsider this motion in the spirit of compromise and working together. I urge us to approve this extension of water and sewer to our partners at the county, and I appreciate your support.
all right. I need to ask a question of the town attorney. Is this two motions? The first motion is to rescind?
No, there's no need for a motion to rescind. It
Because it's on the
can be a
agenda.
combined motion to reconsider and adopt the proposed ordinance.
Okay.
And I believe we've prepared some text for the council member to use.
Would you like to make that motion?
I will. Motion to reconsider and approve water and sanitary sewer service extension, new Loudoun County Government Building adjacent to Kincaid Forest. So I move to reconsider and approve the draft resolution for conditional approval of water and sanitary sewer extensions for new Loudoun County Government General Services Building in Tuscarora Crossing, Land Bay 4.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Mr. Kirkowski. Anyone have any additional comments? All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, so it's, you got the vote, Mr. Wilt and Vice Mayor were opposed, okay. Okay, that takes us to our public hearing. I move it, yeah, okay, I want to make sure. So, public hearing. So I will call together this March 11th, 2025 public hearing of the Leesburg Town Council. Unless there is an objection, I will dispense with the reading of the advertisement. If you wish to speak, we ask that you either sign up on the sheet in the hallway outside of the council chamber, but if you did not get a chance, the opportunity to sign up, we will give you the opportunity to speak. In the interest of fairness, we also asked you to observe the 3-minute time limit. The green light in front of you will turn yellow when you have 1 minute remaining. At that time, we would appreciate your summing up and yielding the floor when the bell indicates your time has expired. Under the rules adopted by the council, the 3-minute time limit applies to all. However, rather than have numerous citizens present remarks on behalf of a group, the council will allow a spokesperson for the group a few extra minutes. In that instance, we would ask the speakers when they sign up to indicate their status as spokesperson in the group they represent and the request for additional time. Our procedure for the public hearing is as follows. First, there's a brief presentation by staff on the item before us. Second, members of the public that have signed up to speak will be called and given the 3 minutes to make their comment. The public hearing item on the agenda for tonight is public hearing fiscal year 2026 proposed budget. I also would like to remind people that if there is anyone that does want to speak, to please spell your name. That's for closed captioning, so people can have it correctly spelled. So, hello.
Good evening.
We switched roles.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council, and members of the public. My name is Liz Weaver, and I'm the Acting Deputy Management and Budget Officer for the town's Finance Department. Tonight, I will be presenting an overview of the FY 2026 proposed budget. I do want to note that while council has taken straw poll votes last night that would change the budget for FY 26. This presentation will generally focus on the FY 2026 budget as proposed by the town manager on February 10th. The proposed budget reflects the town's strong financial position and commitment to long-term financial sustainability. It incorporates the addition of $2.1 million in additional real property revenue resulting from the annexation of the Compass Creek development. The budget also makes a substantial investment in sustaining current programs and maintaining the town's aging infrastructure. These investments are possible due to our strong financial portfolio, the reaffirmation of our AAA bond rating, and through strategic use of reserves. As a result of all these factors, the proposed budget recommends no change in the real estate tax rate. The FY 2026 proposed budget totals $158.1 million, representing an overall decrease of 1.1% compared to the FY 25 adopted budget. This includes $88 million for the general fund, representing an increase of $5.5 million or 6.7%. It also includes $31.58 million for the utilities operating budget, which I will note is consistent with the 5-year rate study. The budget also includes $30.38 million for the general government capital improvement program, as well as $8.1 million for the utilities capital improvement program. key general fund revenues in the proposed budget were expected to increase by a net total of $3.6 million. However, following the town manager's presentation of the proposed budget last month, council reduced the vehicle license fee to zero, resulting in a reduction of $900,000. On this slide, I want to highlight two key revenues. The first is the real estate tax, which I previously mentioned. It's expected to increase by $3.8 million, primarily due to the annexation of the Compass Creek development. I also want to highlight sales and use tax, which is budgeted to decrease by nearly $750,000 to align with current trends. This decrease is due to a decline in the town's share of the school-aged population. The FY 2026 proposed budget includes base adjustments, increases in the areas of stormwater management, trash and recycling, and technology. In addition, the budget includes operating costs associated with capital projects expected to come online in 2026, those being the police station expansion, as well as the implementation of the enterprise video management system. The proposed budget also incorporates compensation increases, including a 3% average pay for performance increase, a 2% cost of living adjustment, and a 9% increase in health insurance. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, these slides are focused on the budget as proposed in mid-February. The next several slides focus on enhancement, and we just want to recognize that and acknowledge that council has already supported removing some of these enhancements. And for the sake of time, I'm going to just go through them quickly at a very high level. In addition to the base adjustments for existing technology contracts, the proposed budget incorporates two technology-related enhancements. The first is the dedicated cybersecurity officer in the Department of Information Technology. The second is the IT manager in the police department, which would provide specialized management and support for their equipment and various technologies. The next is two police lieutenants, and the goal of those positions is to establish the watch commander role, which will provide additional leadership and support for patrol officers. The next is a senior engineer in community development to support the land development review process. There's also a transportation engineer in the Department of Public Works and Capital Projects to assist with permit and land use application review, as well as provide support to capital projects. For this slide, while these two preliminary engineering studies were funded with unassigned fund balance in the proposed budget, council expressed support at last night's work session for removing this funding. And similarly, the proposed budget includes $100,000 for a tax relief program, but as discussed yesterday, you have expressed support in removing this funding. As illustrated by this slide, a significant percent of the budget funds direct services. For FY 2026, 72 cents of each tax dollar provides for police services, public works, capital projects, parks and recreation, and library services. The proposed budget maintains the real estate tax rate at 17.74 cents per $100 of assessed value, resulting in each penny being valued at approximately $1.34 million. The homeowner's equalized rate is 16.62 cents, and I do want to note that a reduction down to the homeowner's equalized rate would necessitate budget reductions in the amount of $1.5 million. The current rate of 17.74 cents translates to an increase in the average residential tax bill of $70 annually or $5.87 monthly for tax year 2025. The FY 2026 through FY 2031 capital improvement program totals $367.6 million for 78 projects. This includes 11 new projects, 10 of those being general fund projects and 1 a utilities project. For fiscal year 2026, $38.5 million is budgeted for 45 projects. The proposed budget includes $39.7 million for the utilities fund, which includes $25.8 million for operations, $5.8 million for debt service, $2.5 million for capital asset replacement, and $5.6 million for capital projects. In summary, the FY 2026 budget leverages this town's strong financial position to sustain existing programs and services, maintain assets and infrastructure, and address council priorities, all while maintaining the current tax rate. This slide shows the proposed budget schedule, and you can see that you're more than halfway through the process. Following tonight's hearing, there will be a final markup work session scheduled for March 24th, and then on March 25th, there will be a public hearing on the real estate tax rate, followed by budget adoption. We are happy to answer any questions.
Okay, let me see if there's anybody that wants to speak from the audience first, and then we'll go to council questions. So is there anybody in the audience that did not sign up that would like the opportunity to speak on the budget? Okay, seeing no one, then I will close this public agenda. Should I close it, or does it continue on? It closes for tonight? Okay. We'll close this budget hearing. There's no action that we take on it at this point. Okay, I want to make sure I was right on that. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions in the council? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate your hard work on this. We have no unfinished business, new business. Then that takes us to any additions, disclosures, topics. Anybody? Yes.
Yep.
Mr. Kirkowski?
Yes, ma'am. On 27 February 2025, I met with Taylor Chess, who has an open application for the mentioned property.
All right, thank you. Ms. Nacy?
No disclosures.
Mr. Steinberg?
I have a disclosure meeting with Greg Wigfield regarding the Greenway Manor project on February 28th.
Mr. Cummings?
Yeah, one disclosure on February 6th, I had a meeting with Greg Woodfield as well on the Greenway Manor application. And I wanted just to say thank you to the mayor and to the Rabbi Tao and the congregation at Shire Shalom, as well as the American Turkish Federation Association. We attended a iftar dinner on Sunday evening with the members of the Muslim faith breaking their fast during Ramadan, and the congregation of the synagogue here right outside of town limits. And it was well attended by elected officials. Our supervisor was there, the chair of the board, the mayor, of course, vice mayor was there. And it was a really wonderful event because it brought everyone together and created a little bit of community and an opportunity to speak to one another. And it kind of piggybacked on earlier in that day. I had a meeting with some of the families that are affected by the Ion Center and the hockey situation, and that was something they brought up as well, as how this is an opportunity for community and an opportunity for their children to go and spend time in person with people. And so I think it was a good day to remind me personally, but also I think all of us that getting together and talking and interacting with one another in person versus all the virtual and online things that we do is really important. So I just wanted to thank the mayor for passing that invite along and the rest of the organizations who invited us. And it was great seeing so many people there.
Thank you. Mr. Wilt? Vice Mayor? Okay, I have a couple of things. On February 26th, the Northern Virginia Regional Commission held a mayors and chairs call, and we discussed the federal layoffs And that resulted in all of we all sent a letter to the governor that Chair Randall actually wrote to ask the state to participate in ways of providing some funding for the people that are being laid off. It was assigned by all the elected officials of Northern Virginia, the chairs and mayors. On March 1st, I participated in the Lift Every Voice production. The staff of a place to be, which of course is a music school that uses music to help disabled population fit into the world. It was an amazing production. I told them that I could not sing. They did not listen. They put me up front. It was not my strongest moment, but it was great fun. It was they did a video, and it was very special, and it kind of ties into what you said about getting people together. There were so many people from all over the county, and most of them could sing. I couldn't, but anyway. Spring Bling, I didn't get to this year because I had another appointment, but my friends told me how great it was, so I want to thank the event staff here at Parks and Rec for their hard work on putting this on every year. On March 4th, Catoctin Elementary invited me to come to the 5th grade class and discuss what the mayor's job entails. Mr. Roy asked his daughter's teacher to invite me. He has done this annually. She is in 5th grade, and every year he has asked the teacher of her teacher to invite the mayor to explain. So I'm sure she is very well versed on what the mayor does. The kids not so much, the other kids, but I really appreciate the teacher allowing that. On May 5th, I read to the students at the Preschool Learning Center. Lauren Parshett and Miss Kimby invited me to attend and read to all the students. They were a delightful group, and thanks for letting me join the Read Across the America celebration. The students did comment on the fact that I was okay, but the next day one of the commanders were coming, and they were really looking forward to that one. So it's always good to remind yourself where you stand in the world. Cool Springs also invited me to come and talk about the mayor's job. The teacher happened to be Mr. Burke, who's not a relative, but was a delightful teacher who helped his students with their thoughts and questions, and it was a great time. March 8th, I held a board and commission breakfast for all of the people that I applied to the boards and commissions to say thank you for their volunteer efforts. And it was a very lively exchange of ideas. Everybody was very excited and very appreciative, and I provided them breakfast, so they were very happy. I want to thank Chain Block Building for allowing me to hold it in the building, in the lobby. March 9th, I attended the experience of the warmth of Ramadan with a special iftar dinner, and Mr. Cummings has talked about it. He and Vice Mayor Simino Johnson were in attendance along with the chair and the other board members, but it was a very special evening, and I appreciated them inviting us to join them. Budget time is upon us, and it's hard to make decisions that have impact on the residents, and everyone up here on the dais wants to do what's best for the residents. We might not agree on what that is, but know, every resident should know that the council members are working with their ideas and their concerns and want what is best for all of us. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of my family and friends, and to everyone in Leesburg. Enjoy the holiday, be smart, and be safe. Town manager?
No comments.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? That passes, and next meeting will be in Town Hall.